what exactly is purpose? Now, your definition of purpose may be different to my definition of purpose, but personally, I think the purpose definition is like a blinding passion to achieve a goal. Now, many people confuse purpose and ambition, but I think purpose is the vehicle to achieve the ambition. The ambition is the goal, and the purpose is how you're going to get to that ambition and to achieve that goal. And it seems to be something that's very inherent and innate in a man's nature to have a purpose that's blinding. Because if you think about it, when we were in tribes, our ancestors lived in caves and we hunted every day. That was their purpose. They never saw anything above that. It was blinding. And until like maybe thousands or so years had passed, we then finally realized we could make permanent shelters and farms and develop civilized and like societies that we kind of have in the modern day. But for the majority of the time, they were hunting and gathering fruit and veg, and that was all that they cared about, and that was all that they could ever really see. That was their only ambition, and they used the purpose to achieve that and to feed their family every single day and have that sort of daily evening and daily eveningly ritual and stuff like that. But purpose was never really taught in schools. While ambition was mentioned sporadically, me personally, purpose was never something that's mentioned in school at all. And that was actually the first words that I ever said on this channel, was that purpose is not something that's taught in schools, and we never ever learn how to develop one. If you want to check out the first video on this channel, it's called I Found My Purpose, Now Find Yours, and it has no thumbnail or anything like that. You can just click on it. It has 70 views or so, and yeah, maybe you can find value out of that, because it's quite a funny video considering I didn't really record it incredibly well because it was the first video I ever did. But as I said before, we were never taught how to develop a purpose outside of school. School was always the purpose, and while we were in school from maybe 9 or 8 till 4, after school, we were never taught to develop any interests. And while some people may have had other interests like sports and stuff, they may have been talented in maybe cooking, many people were just kind of left stranded without a skill, without anything that they were naturally talented at doing that they couldn't really invest the rest of their time into. And so therefore, the majority of people, either they studied because school was their purpose and it was their true purpose that they actually cared about, and so they would study when they get home and look up better ways to study and stuff like that. Many people couldn't care less about school and therefore would just play video games and scroll on like TikTok and Netflix. Or not, they wouldn't scroll on Netflix, but you kind of get the idea. People wouldn't care about school, but they also had no other purpose, so they choose to just do nothing and therefore waste a lot of time. But developing interests and purposes outside of school is absolutely crucial, but we're not taught how to do it. And so that's kind of what this video is about. I'm just going to give you a few ideas on what you can make your purpose and how exactly to achieve it. Because starting out, I highly recommend making your purpose working out and becoming healthier, both physically and mentally. Kind of going on the change that you suddenly see on so many people that are doing self-improvement. They suddenly have that mindset shift of constant improvement, and I want that to be you. I want you to start that mindset shift today and to start meditating and going to the gym or working out in any way, shape, or form consistently, and that will hugely benefit you, and you will find so much pleasure and fun out of doing that purpose, because you almost find fun out of having a purpose, because it's something that's so like necessary and natural for a man to have. And so working out and meditating and journaling and doing all the habits that increase your mental health and increase how like physically healthy you are and stuff like that, once you've kind of done that, you may still have hours of your day left, even because then you may be like, you may have weekends and stuff like that, or school holidays, where even if you are working out, playing sports, doing competition, and all the kind of other healthy stuff like meditation that we talked about, there may still be other hours in your day that you're like not able to fill. And so I highly recommend, if you're not just kind of being alone with your thoughts, which is also something that I recommend, and being bored because you may have given up things like video games and social media and Netflix and stuff like that, I highly recommend to like research on the sort of purposes that you're talking about. Research and learn how to get better at working out, at dieting, at meditating, and at journaling. I do videos on both dieting, meditation, and journaling if you're interested in learning more about those and you can scroll through my channel, and like they'll probably be in the title, something like how to start meditating or how to start journaling and all that sort of stuff. But once you like almost complete this person, you've done this for 6 to 8 months now, like consistently, you've been disciplined, the whole world will open up to you. You've built your core strong foundation. You have gone from being someone who maybe like wasn't very purposeful and didn't do too much in life to being someone who is actually very strong and capable and has gone from having a weak foundation to a strong foundation because they have a nice physique, they are healthier mentally as well as physically, they have like strong mental health, so things don't really affect them as much as they used to, and it becomes so much more beneficial to you once you kind of start this purpose compared to starting out on something that may not be so good for you. All purposes are good for you in a way, but this is probably one of the most common and most beneficial purposes to start out on. And after this, the whole world opens up to you, and that's where I say that it's your choice. And that's why I'm going to teach you how to find new purposes and new vehicles to achieve your goals. Because what you want to do when you're trying to find a new purpose, you feel like you've almost completed, in a way, this working out mental health goal. You find ways to be more efficient at doing that and to save time. And now you have a few more hours in your day that you'd like to spend doing something else. And what you want to do is you want to relax. As I said before, maybe you want to be alone with your thoughts, stare at the wall, that sort of thing. Sit down and meditate, or not really meditate, but just sort of think. And then maybe something is going to come to you. Maybe you want to do this, or you want to do that. You want to get a part-time job. You want to start this little business that you've like got coming up. All that sort of stuff will sort of come into your mind, and then you can choose which one to act on that you want to sort of make your purpose. And like now you've kind of finished your purpose and unpeeled your purpose layer with becoming a healthier and better person, then you can like start on the next level. And this process will repeat and repeat and repeat until you have almost done everything that you've ever wanted to do in your life. And yeah, it then becomes quite spiritual and quite stoic and all that sort of stuff. I don't think even I'm quite there yet when it comes to purpose. I feel like my purpose is changing right now, personally. I've been building this YouTube channel as much as I can and putting a lot of time into it for the last 2 to 3 months. But now I felt like with doing some research on different things like my health and certain chemicals that are inside in our bloodstream, that are inside of the environment that we live in, I feel like my purpose is changing in some sort of way, and the layer is kind of unpeeling and revealing other things that I truly, truly care about. And that is these chemicals and stuff that are in our environment, and I want to put also a lot of time and investment in to try and get rid of them, and hopefully making a pretty decent profit and living off of helping that and helping other people get rid of these chemicals and stuff from the environment. So for now, I'm going to still carry on to record YouTube videos, but because that's something that I want to do anyway. I find it quite fun and fulfilling either way, whether it is my purpose or not. But I am doing a lot more research than I used to into these sort of chemicals. And yeah, it's interesting to me, and maybe it already is my purpose, and I've just been sort of repressing it this whole time. But that's just like complicated concepts that I'm not really entitled to explain to you at all. But the title of this video was that our generation is purposeless, and to fix that and solve that, I want you to develop a purpose, and starting with working out and developing your physical and mental health, and how exactly you are going to do that, that can be your purpose for now, and then the whole world will open up to you after that. So with that, I hope you found value out this video, and I also recommend subscribing because I like this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves so much more than they already have, and good luck.